And good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. We do apologize for the belated start. So we are going to get straight into our session this morning. So this morning's session is about us going through the process of the business license renewal process to assist those who may just be doing it for the first time or those who have done it before. My name is Beaumont Todd. I am the Training and Communications Manager here at the Department of Inland Revenue. I just want to welcome you all to this session. I want to just open with a quick prayer, and then we'll get into the session. So, Heavenly Father, we thank you for your grace and mercy. Thank you for all those that are tied into our Zoom, that are listening to our YouTube. We pray that this session is informative, it is helpful in assisting them, oh God, in going through the process as easy as possible in renewing their business license and to help them to grow prosperously by your grace. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so on our agenda today, we are going to start off with a video just showing the process of how basically to get into your account. And we're going to have one of our wonderful ladies from Client Services, Ms. Jacqueline Moxie, who's going to speak to you about signing in and also resetting your password just to make sure that everybody can easily access their account. Then we're going to show a video going through the process of renewing your business license, being the actual annual for done by our registration supervisor, Ms. Charlene Barton. And then we'll go back to the process of how to now do your business license estimate for 2025. If you have any questions, we ask you to drop it into the chat, either for the Zoom or for the YouTube, and we'll make sure that we answer those at the very end of the session. So thank you so much again for your time, and just give us a moment. We'll run the video to begin getting started with how to get into your account and to do your password renewal. Thank you again.
Tax Administration portal? Well, we've got you covered. Your OTAS accounts with tax information has been successfully migrated onto the new system. Old accounts without active business licenses or VAT registrations have not been migrated and are required to create a new account. Activation links have been sent via email for all migrated accounts. Click this link to begin the activation process. Then, On the activation page, fill in your OTAS username and email and click Verify. For usernames consisting of special characters, such as a dash or underscore, you must now enter your username without it. For example, if your username is John_Doe !! Your username would now simply be John Doe. After verifying your username and email, you will now have to set up a new password. Once your password has been reset, you can log in to vat.revenue.gov.bs. To access more videos like this, visit our website, YouTube channel, or social media pages.
Good morning. If you already have a password and a username and a password for your account, and you cannot log in, you're not able to log in, what you can do is you put in your username in the username slot, just below the username page down, go to reset password, and you can send a reset password. Once the reset password comes, once you put the reset password there, you're going to put in the email that you have in the system. You would put in the username. Once you put in the username and you put in the password, and you notice you're not able to log in, you would page down just below login, you would see the word that says reset your password. Once you click on that, once you click on it, it's going to ask you to put in the email. Now, remember, with the email, you're going to put in the email that you have in the system. So therefore, you must put you must put the email that you have in the system. So therefore, if you put a different email, then the reset password would never come to you. Also, if you want to go back. That's basically it. Where they reset the password. So your username would be, remember, many of you might be using the same username that you had from the previous year. Many of you might have changed it, but you're going to use the username that you have been using for the system to be able to log in. Right? So reset password, then put an email, put your email. And then you would click continue. So once you've done that, then you would go to your email, and then you would see it says VAT reset password, and that's where you would reset your password. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Registration Supervisor Charlene Barton. I'm just gonna go over through the renewal process. When you're filing your renewal, we're gonna go through the 24 actual annual. We're gonna go through that process. And also if there is a little glitch you would see, we would also show you how to navigate through that process as well.
Interested in learning how to renew your business license using our updated online tax administration site? This video will show you step by step how to submit your business license annual actual and your business license annual estimate, which are both important steps in the business license renewal process. Step 1. Log into your account via vat.revenue.gov.bs using the username and updated password. Step 2. Click the Returns tab in the main menu, then select File a Return using the tax type drop-down list. Select Business License Actual, then select the appropriate year for the return that you wish to submit. Please note that if you have not filed a 2023 business license, these options will not be available. You are now ready to start your annual actual return by clicking the Start Return link under the Action tab, then Save and Continue. Next, click Enter License Details or Save and Continue. Then click on the View Details link. Under the Enter License Details tab, click Change to make the required changes. Scroll to the bottom of the page to enter your actual annual turnover for the year, then click Save once finished and return to the previous page. Review the license details to ensure accuracy, then click Save and Continue. You're almost there. Upload the necessary files by using the drag and drop feature. Please note, this is an optional step unless there are required documents to upload. Click Save and Continue to move to the next step. Review the information and then read and agree to the declaration. To submit, click Submit Return. Once submitted, a confirmation notice will appear confirming that the application has been received for your annual actual. To access more videos like this, visit our website, YouTube channel, or social media pages.
Okay, thank you for reviewing the video. Now I'm just gonna walk you step by step through the same process. Once you have already logged on to our online tax administration, you would then see various tabs show up. You're gonna go to the Returns tab. Once you get to the Returns tab, then you're gonna click File a Return. In this space, you will put in the annual actual, and the year would be 24. Once that is completed, then you're going to click down to the bottom where it says Start a Return. Now, the other screen that's going to appear is going to be the return information. I want you to take note and read the details as you're about to enter the information. Once you have read those, then you can hit Save and Continue. You'll go to step 2, where it's asking for a return overview. You're going to hit Save and Continue again. That should be to the bottom right hand. Then you're going to get to enter your license details. Now this here shows us how much licenses you have. So if you're a taxpayer and you have multiple licenses, the number will show there in bracket. You're going to click View Details. Once you get there to view details, there is a challenge we're having. If you do see duplicate of your existing licenses there, you can go ahead and remove the duplicate ones, leaving only your original licenses. Once you have done that, you can then click change. Once you click change, you can then scroll down to the third from the last line, which should be line 5, and you will indicate your actual turnover. Once you have indicated that turnover, you are to do no other changes on this page. You can then hit save. You can go back. If you have multiple licenses, you would then do the same for that one as well. Once you have done all of your licenses, then you'll hit the back button and save and continue. Once you are done with save and continue, if you do have documentation, you would upload documentation. If your turnover is over 250,000, you are to upload your accounting certification. If you're under, but you're over 100,000, please be reminded that you are still required to give us some Excel spreadsheet, because that is also needed for your value-added tax as well. Once you're done with that, then you can hit save and continue. Once you're completed, you're going to get a review of the return which you added. If at this point you realize that you made a mistake and you want to now edit what you indicate for your turnover, you can just go up top and hit any one of you'll hit number 3 to get you back into the details to change that turnover. Once that is completed, you will click the box that says declaration and you would submit your return. Once that is done, we have already received your return in the office.
Like I said, I can exactly.
Repeating the previous steps from the annual actual return submission process, click the Returns tab in the main menu, then select File a Return. Using the tax type drop-down list, select Business License Estimated, then select the appropriate year for the return that you wish to submit. You are now ready to start your annual estimated return by clicking the Start Return button under the Action tab, then Save and Continue. Next, click Enter License Details or Save and Continue. Then click on the View Details link. Under the Enter License Details tab, click Change to make necessary changes. Scroll to the bottom of the page to enter the actual estimated turnover for the year, which could be the exact figure as your annual actual. Please note, the screen will pre-populate with general information and recognize if this is a renewal. Mandatory information, including the estimated turnover field, is indicated by a red asterisk. You also need to complete any other field that is relevant to your business. Once done, click Save to proceed and return to the previous page. Once more, review the business license estimated details for accuracy and click Save and Continue. Upload the necessary files by using the drag and drop feature or by selecting files from the device. Please note, this is an optional step unless there are required documents to upload. Click Save and continue to progress. Review your information and then read and agree to the declaration. To submit, click Submit Return. A confirmation notice will appear confirming that the application has been received for your annual estimated. There you have it. You successfully filed your returns and submitted your renewal. To access more videos like this, visit our website, YouTube channel, or social media pages.
Okay, we're now going to go over filing the annual estimate for 25. The process is kind of similar to the actual. The estimate is where you are predicting what you're going to make for the 25 year. All right, so we're going to navigate back to the home screen. Once you get to the home screen,
Returns tab in the
you're
main.
going to click Return. You're going to click the Returns tab. You're going to file a return. Our tax type this time is going to be Business Annual Estimate, and the year is going to be 2025. Once you've done that, then you click here to start the return. You will review the details again. Then you would hit Save and Continue. You will then get to the license details screen. Once you get here to the license details screen, you're going to click here where it says Add Detail. Once you click here, there's going to be a pop-up that's going to come up. And it's going to ask you, would you like to populate the question with the current details from your previous return? You are going to click Yes, Load from Previous Details. Once you would have clicked that, all of your license details would have appeared, and you would jump straight into the license details screen. You would then go to the Change button. As indicated before, you will use the Remove tab to delete all of the duplicate licenses. Once you click Change, you will then enter back into the return screen where you're going to enter in your estimated turnover for 2025. Once you estimate that turnover, that amount, you will then put that in the estimate turnover line. You are not to enter in any other details in other than the estimated turnover. If you put in over 100,000, you will also pay on that estimated turnover as well. Once that completed, you would then hit Save. You would go back to the license details screen and you would hit back. Once you get back to the license details screen, you will see that your license detail would have changed to 1 or how many other licenses you would have had. You would then hit Save and Continue. This will navigate you through the page where you have to upload documents. If you have any supporting documents, you upload it there. And then it takes you to the last screen where you will click the declaration and submit the return. And you have successfully put in your renewal for your business for the annual actual 24 and the estimate for 2025. If you have any questions, you can now send them in Come in.
Okay, sorry, can you hear me now? All right, apologies about that. So good afternoon, everyone. So if you have any questions at this time, you can please just drop the questions either into the chat on YouTube and we'll answer them. Or if you have any questions here on Zoom, you can put them in and we'll happily answer the questions that you have at this time. And I'll field the questions to Ms. Bartlett as well. Ready? Okay, so first question is, what happens if you operated at a loss and do not have funds to pay for the estimated returns? Thank you. Okay, so if a taxpayer has more than one business, you mentioned that it should be seen where exactly?
Okay, if you have more than one businesses, when you would go to the enter license details, step 3, you will see all of the licenses under there. If the license was renewed in 24, it will show up. If the license has not been renewed, the license will not show up. You would then have to send us in an inquiry indicating what the turnover was for the years that you did not renew.
Okay. Someone is asking, can you please elaborate on the requirements for the spreadsheet presentation for over 100K, but less than 250K?
The spreadsheet should include, it's the basic normal spreadsheet that you would have been uploading for your VAT filings. Every quarter you should have been uploading something that can substantiate that your business made this amount. That is the same spreadsheet we're asking for that would encompass the whole year.
Okay. Someone wanted to know, I guess, with the systems change, what now is the purpose of the business license actual and the estimate business license return? With the new system that we now have in place, where the system now asks for both the actual and the estimated, they wanted to know what was the purpose of that.
Okay, the purpose of it is that the act has changed to indicate that you give us an actual and you give us an estimate.
Okay, so next question is, how do I go about changing an address and name so that the new information appears on the 2025 business license?
Okay, for changing an address or a trade name, you would need to provide us with the updated trade name approval. And you would, for changing location, you would need to also provide us with the letter from physical planning. If it's a home-based physical planning, if it's a storefront, you're gonna need physical planning, environmental health, Ministry of Works, along with the lease agreement. You would upload those in the inbox. You would send us a message. The subject should read change of circumstances, and you would add all of those attachments needed to your particular business.
Okay, a client is asking on YouTube, they're saying the company is showing the business license number twice in the renewal request.
That is a duplicate. You can delete one of those licenses and leave in one.
Okay, another question. For the actual 2024, Person is asking about their audited financials. They're asking, shouldn't these actually agree? The actual for 2024, shouldn't they agree with the audited financials? But they're saying, however, they're not completed at this point.
Talked about the published message for invoice. Okay, sorry, just this, I'm not messaging you somebody. I am not answering that because I.
Okay, so the next question is, if a company is in liquidation and therefore no longer needs a 2025 BL, what should be done in the portal to indicate this?
Okay, if the company is in liquidation, you will still have to file the 24 actual. Once you file that actual, there's also an option there for you to enter in the C state. For the business, you can enter in that C state and it will not require you to do a 25 estimate.
Apologies. Okay, so the question again is, good morning, blessings. What is the estimated turnaround time for renewals?
The estimated time for renewal is 14 days. You will be advised if there is a longer time.
Okay, just making sure. All right, so question again was, what happens if you operate at a loss and do not have funds to pay for the estimated returns?
Okay, if you're operating at a loss, you would pay on the actual, and there is a option in place for you to do a payment plan for the estimate for 25.
Okay, next question. Do you file for VAT if you made over 100K, but your expenses is 50K? Do you file for 50K or over 100K?
You file for the 100K.
Okay.
How much more time?
Do you have to submit an income statement for business license renewal turnover of under 100K?
No, you don't. You can just submit your renewal. There's no requirements for under 100K. No documentation is needed.
Okay, so the next question, if uploading the files are optional and persons are self-reporting, They're asking what due diligence is in place by DIR to ensure that some businesses aren't evading taxes while others are being compliant. Okay.
Okay, well, we work along with Bahamas Customs. We also work along with NIB and other government agencies to make sure that the reporting it is correct. So we are doing our due diligence on our end with our audit department.
Okay. Another question is, what if you have to cancel the old business license? Do you still have to file if you're waiting for the system for cancellation? I think what they're trying to say is if they're canceling their old business license, they ask, do they still have to file while they're waiting for the cancellation to actually be approved? Yeah.
I think that question is pertaining to a VAT registration. If you are applying for a VAT cancellation, you are still to file your VAT returns until the cancellation has been approved.
Okay, so our next question. If the company's name was spelled wrong, they're asking, do you still use, I guess, the change of circumstance to correct it?
Yes, if the name is spelled incorrectly, you can upload the corrected spelling of the name, and we can change that through the inquiry, and the change of circumstances should be the subject.
My next question, if a business has been inactive for the past year and wants to renew the license for 2025, what would be recommended so that they can avoid any penalties, but would like to keep the BL?
It is recommended that you file in your returns before January 31st to stop you from any penalties and fees you may incur after.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so the next question is, the company is a FSE, a financial service entity, licensee of Central Bank of the Bahamas. 95% of the clients, they're saying, are international clients, which have private banking license. They're wanting to know if the revenue from these clients should also form a part of the turnover.
Yes, in our sub-return for financial services entities, in the sub-return, there is an option there for you to fill out if the income is coming from outside of the Bahamas. So you would then fill out, that is line 5. You would then fill that out, and the system would automatically calculate the amount for you.
Okay, so the next question is, if you have a license for a nonprofit, example, a homecoming committee, they want to know what would you actually enter for your return?
Okay, you can enter in what monies the homecoming would have made, as i.e. if they would have charged to entrance at the door, how much ever they would have made. Once you are a nonprofit, you are exempted from that fee. So you have to ask yourself, are you nonprofit? Are you considered nonprofit in our system with the required documentation? Once you have that, you can indicate your turnover. If it's over 100,000, you are not subject to a fee.
Okay, so the question is, when filing for the estimate for 2025, should the total filed include tax or excluding tax? For example, when you quote a price for the homeowner that included tax, do they report the amount inclusive or exclusive of tax?
Can you ask the person if that question is related to a real estate transaction?
Can you clarify, Micah Hepburn for me on YouTube, whether that is related to business license or you're looking at the VAT filing for us, please? The session today is just dealing mainly with the business license renewal aspect of things and possibly what you may need to pay for your business license renewals. We will be doing a session next week that focuses directly on VAT filing from all aspects. So I just humbly ask that you please keep the questions for the business license renewal aspect for this week's workshop. Okay, the next question is, even though the business license is expired and times passed, there was an indication on the business license saying it was valid until further date. I guess the person is asking why that's not on the license, but I know from a legal perspective, don't they have an extension until?
March for payment.
Okay.
It's not listed on the license.
Okay, yes. Again, for those who are asking some of the VAT filing questions, we will deal with those next week. We're just dealing mainly directly with the business license renewal aspect. You can still file the questions and we will get the answers for you if you're able to provide to us an email or contact. You don't necessarily need to drop it in the YouTube. For the links that we provided, you can scan those, provide us your email privately, and we will definitely get the answers back to you. Just not a part of this session at this time. Another question for you would be, what should be the estimated time to receive the business license once all of the documents have been submitted?
The estimated wait time at present is 14 days before you can get your license back.
Okay, so I see a question here that is asking, how should one proceed in respect to the business license payment fee if the company is included in the domestic minimum top-up act? We will actually have to answer that off script because that has not been provisionalized as yet. So, Octavia Kant, if you can privately just drop your message or your contact us, we can follow up with you with that particular question. The next question would be, what should the, oh, I'm sorry, just asked that already. Oh, someone was asking about, they said they didn't hear the answer about the estimated time for the submitted statements. It's 14 days for those that didn't hear it, 14 days. Okay, I have a few more questions. Yes. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take our last question. Any of the other questions that have been submitted inside of the YouTube and the chat, we will take note of those and try to answer you directly for those questions. But the last question that we're able to assist with at this time, the person is asking if we have 3 businesses and the income from one is over 100K, do I have to pay VAT for the income for all of the businesses?
Yes, if the licenses all fall under 110, every license under that 10 is subject to charge VAT whether they make the 100,000 or not.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Barton. I want to thank Ms. Barton as well as Ms. Jacqueline Moxie for the time they've taken with this presentation today. Humble apologies about some of the technical issues we have, but we will also be having another session this evening between 6 to 7 for anybody that may want to follow then again or to share it with other persons. Again, we thank you for your time of following up with us with these sessions that we're having, which we're going to be doing every Wednesday between 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., dealing with different aspects of both business license, real property, as well as VAT filing to try to assist as much as we can to make the process for this new as smooth as possible. We thank you for your time here with the Department of Inland Revenue, and we ask you to have a good and a blessed day today.